I have this honor and integrity and a sense of respect and duty just ingrained in me.
I became more confident in myself and did things I didn't think I could do.
No complaints. My naval career is the best thing that ever happened to me.
The training in the military is second to none.
I can remember watching the news whenever we invaded Iraq, and one of the images that stuck out with me, and it was just an image of the city, and you can just see these Tomahawk cruise missiles coming in and stuff, and I thought that was just the coolest thing, and I knew right then and there that's what I wanted to do, and I never strayed from that.
I quit my senior year in school. I quit in March, and I was supposed to graduate in June. I got bored, so I just joined the Marine Corps, just to serve my country, and my brothers had already joined, so all four of us joined.
September 11th happened my senior year of high school. I think at the time I was applying to some colleges and got into some, but wasn't really college focused and ready yet. That day, I guess, kind of gave me the push to go join the military and serve my country.
Well, they give you some options when you go in, but I wanted to make aircraft and engine mechanic. But anyway, they give you a series of batteries of tests and they ask you what you want. Then they tell you what you're going to get. He said, well, with your math background, you're going into electronics.
I had 2 years of drafting in high school, and I said, well, I wanted to go do some engineering stuff because that's what I wanted to do. He said, okay, we'll get that worked out. Well, I got into combat engineers. We learned to blow up bridges and blow up things and build things and that sort of thing.
After getting my ASVAB, he's like, you can do anything you want to do in the military, but I highly suggest you be a truck driver. and I was like, what? Well, that sounds great. That sounds like a phenomenal job, but what else is available?
They pick you up on the bus from a Greyhound bus station. They drop you off in the recruit depot. And I remember this two big dudes just running the bus and just screaming in your face.
Well, my job was keeping the 20mm guns in operation, keeping the sights functional. And when I got out of the Navy, I went to work for the Air Force in electronics, which I was trained for in the Navy. And I worked with that for 40 years, and it's been very good to me.
It was a quick growing up lesson. So I graduated in June of 2009, graduated basic training in October of 2009, and by Christmas Eve, I was boots on ground in Iraq.
Overseas, I was part of a convoy security element that kind of made sure that the trucks got to where they needed to be and safely. The other part of my job was as a part of a QRF team that went out and helped those that did get ambushed or attacked by IEDs.
My naval career consisted of 22 years. I enlisted as an E1, left as a lieutenant commander, and also got to fly airplanes.
People who join the military and they're in the military, they just want the world to be a better place. And I think that common motivation really attracts a certain type of person, and those people are generally pretty well bonded together.
I've lost a lot of friends, because I started off in Vietnam, 68, 69, and 70, and then I went to the Gulf Wars in 88, and Desert Shield, Desert Storm in 90, 91.
I have a lot of things that I would say were favorite things that I did. One of the additional duties, because in the military you do your primary mission, you do your military mission, and then you do a lot of additional duties.
We were out in the field in a bivouac, and we're going to build a building. You know, they had all the lumber and all the stuff out there, and they got to cut everything up, but nobody could figure out how to construct the pitch on the roof. I figured out how to do that. And that was a very happy event, because we would have been snookered if we didn't be able to put the roof on, you know.
The great thing was when I was in Germany, I met my wife. We were married November the 10th of 1956, And that means that November the 10th of 2021, we'll be married and celebrate our 65th wedding anniversary.
Going into Japan, in the Yokohama, right after the war, they were the most gentle and kindest people you ever met. I thought they'd be kind of rough when we went in there, but they treated us just royally. That was a big surprise to me and one of my fondest memories.
The happiest time, the most beautiful time I've ever had in my military career was being able to fly and be part of a team.
What the Honor Guard did is we basically conducted funeral services. The tough part was giving the flag to the next of kin because they're crying and of course they appreciate this so much. And it was very rewarding because I felt like I was doing something really good for people that needed something like that at a terrible time in their life.
Doing most is leading Marines. Yeah, to me that's the most challenging and the most rewarding thing that you could do in the Marines.
I enjoyed being an instructor because I was able to teach them the correct way to set up your gear, operate radios, and give my experience to my young troops. You're responsible for them, for everything they do, make sure they get their meals and stuff like that, and they have problems, you take care of them as best as you can.
That bond and that feeling, that knowing that no matter what you're like outside of this uniform, when we're in this uniform, we put the boots on and we roll out of a truck or we're rolling into a town or whatever, you have my back and I have yours. That's probably my best memory.
I learned from my military service how to get along with people of very different backgrounds.
The military service will set up a regimentation for you. It'll train you to be part of a team and be able to lead and supervise. And those are so important today, and they always will be important. And that's probably what's helped me to get to where I am now.
You go to basic training, or at least in my case, you did 13 or 14 years ago, and you came out disciplined, you came out fit, you came out with a greater sense of yourself than you went into the military with.
It's a much easier life than the ranch and the farmland was. I made better money probably than I would have made on the farm and ranch.
It prepared me better for life. I really believe that it gave me a little bit greater sense of purpose and understanding of this country we live in and how amazing it is. It gave me that motivation for when I did come back to do something with my life.
Because of all those yes sir things and everybody having to deliver on various projects and things like that, I did a tremendous amount of work and learned a lot in a very short period of time trying to do that work. And when I got out of the Air Force, it just made me better prepared for private industry.
You'll get so much more out of it than you could ever put into the military. On top of that, you come out with some of the best friends you'll ever make in your life.
The biggest gift that it'll give you is knowing that you can. Once you face that initial adversity and you can get past it, then you know you can get past anything. And that's probably one of the biggest gratifying feelings in the world.
I'm glad that it did because it taught me a trade in a situation that I could deal with the rest of my life. Still dealing with it. I still work on electronics. It taught me a lot.